I actually said I wasn't going to drop any video until 2024. Based on demand, this will be the last video for the year. For this video, I'm going to be illustrating a step-to-step method you can use to analyze any financial market, look for point of interest, and also execute trades. If that is something you have been willing to learn, stay till the end of this video because you are going to learn a lot. I do advise you test this strategy over 100 times to be sure you understand the steps and procedures. This will also help you regain confidence on this strategy. Although I've used this strategy a lot of time, but I do advise you conduct your own test to master it properly. Now let's start. These are the steps we would follow to utilize this strategy. The first one is that we analyze the market on the daily time frame and identify the swing highs and swing low levels. The next one is that we look for market direction on the 1 hour time frame. Then we look for point of interest on the 1 hour time frame as well. Then the last but not the least is that we execute these trades on the 15 minutes or the 3-minute time frame. To analyze the market on the daily time frame, you have to understand the rules of the smart money concept. I have a video of the smart money concept. You can check it out to understand better. Now let's start. To validate a high or a low, 3 candles must move above or below the last buy or sell candle in the entire market structure. So now that you have understood that, this is another example you will watch out for. Now in this example, this candle did not break the last buy candle. It made a 3 candle lower after the recent buy candle. This is still a valid sell according to our strategy. When prices break above or below that structure, this also validates a break of structure or a change of character in the entire structure. Now, since you understand that, let's analyze the full market and get our daily time frame swing high or swing low level. Whichever, we're going to get the swing high levels and we're also going to get the swing low levels together. For this strategy, we are going to be using the Euro USD and we are going to be identifying the market structure on the daily time frame. Now let's begin. Now for the daily time frame, let's identify the most recent structure without wasting much of our time. This is the last buy candle here. We had this first one, that is the first sell. That was a rejection here. Then we had 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is a valid retracement, sell retracement rather. Then this is the last sell. Then we had this first buy that did not continue, and we continue selling down to this area. Okay, let me zoom better. We continue selling down to this area and we had this first buy. This buy did not complete. Another 2 candle above it, which is not valid and is invalid according to our analysis. Okay, now we continue selling down to this area. Okay, now from this area we had 1, 2, we had a rejection down to this area, another rejection to this area, then we had 1, 2, then we had this one as the third one. Then prices continue going up there. So if we have another break below this level, that would be a valid break of structure. But since we do not have that and we broke above this recent level, recent buy level, means this area is a what? Break of structure. Means the bullish pattern or the bullish market structure is still in continuation, okay, according to the overall structure on the daily time frame. Okay, now since we had this as our break of structure, we continue higher to this level. This is the most recent buy. Then we had 1, 2, 3. Okay, from that level we are looking at this whole market structure. Then we broke below this market structure, which is a change of character from bullish trend to what? Bearish trend. Okay, now from that, this is our last sell candle. We had 1, 2. This is supposed to be the third one, but we did not have another one above that, so that's a fake out. So we continue selling down to this area where we had this 1, 2, but we could not see the third buy. Then we broke that entire structure. Means the whole thing that happened here is a single structure down to this level. We had 1, 2. This is a fake out, and we continue the trend here, which is valid right now as the third one. Okay, so if we break below this level, we have another what? Break of structure. But since we did not do that, means the whole thing that happened there is a single structure up to this level, and the overall structure is what? Bearish, because we already had a change of character here. So we take our Fibonacci and identify that zone as a what? Good what? Bearish zone. As you can see, it is selling at that level. Okay, but this is not what we're going to do for this strategy. We're actually going to zoom into the 1 hour time frame to identify the recent market structure there. So let's just highlight this as the daily time frame swing low. So this is daily time frame swing low, and we highlight this as the daily time frame swing high. Okay, so daily time frame what? Swing high. So we're going to head on to zoom to the 1 hour time frame to know what is happening there. Now, as I've zoomed into this 1 hour time frame, we want to identify the most recent structure on this 1 hour time frame without wasting much of our time. Okay, now let's just go straight to the point. I don't want to waste much of our time. To do this, we'll have to actually look for a valid retracement. Okay, a valid retracement and a break above it or below it. Okay, now let's go straight to the point. Now this is the last buy candle at this zone. Now we have 1, 2. This is a fake out, and we continue that fake out above it. Okay, now it means the whole area here is invalid, but this area is still holding where the retracement started from. Okay, until we break above here with an invalid retracement downward, then we call the whole of this zone a what? A single what? Structure. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain is that if we do not have that 3 candle below any recent sell candle in the entire structure here, we validate everything as a single buy structure. Okay, till we have that. Okay, now let's go. Since we are still holding that area, like I've explained from the beginning, this is the most recent buy. Then we had this sell 1, we had another rejection, we had 2, we did not break below this second one. We started going up to this area. So this is the recent area here. So let me highlight it. Doesn't invalidate this one. So let me just make this, let me change the color of this to like red. Okay, means overall we are still holding this white level, but then this area is our most recent buy. Okay, we have not had that 3 candle below any candle. Okay, now since we are still holding that area, we have 1, 2, 3. Means this sell is already valid from this area. Okay, so this area becomes a valid sell. Now from this area, this is the last sell. Then we had 1, we had this rejection down, no continuing of that trend. Then we had 1, 2, we had this massive rejection. From this massive rejection, we had this one selling down, and there was no other buy above there. So this is an invalid what? Structure. So this is not a break of structure, this is just a single structure to the downside. Okay, now this is our most recent sell, and the whole thing that happened here is an internal structure, and we also broke down to this area. Okay, now this is the most recent sell area. From this sell area, we had 1, 2, 3. Means this structure is already valid. If we break below this structure, we have a break of structure, but if we don't break, then the whole structure is just a single structure. Since we did not break below that structure, but we broke out of this level here, means this level is a valid break of structure. So since we have this level as a valid break of structure, we're also looking for a nice retracement that will break above that structure or break below this overall structure. Now let's continue. Means we bought up to this area, we had this area as a fake out, then we continue buying up to this area. Okay, so this is the most recent buy area right now. So let's just highlight this. Okay, now from there we broke this structure, which is a change of what? Character. So we have a nice change of character at this zone right now. From this zone right now, we had this last sell here. Okay, then we're looking for a nice retracement that will break below or go and make a full retracement of our overall 1 hour structure, which is a bearish structure. Okay, now this is our last sell candle because it went below this one, then we had 1. This is a fake out. From this fake out, the whole thing that happened here was an internal structure. Then we had 2. Since we did not have the third one, the whole structure here is invalid. Okay, so this is not a break of structure because it did not meet up to our parameters. Okay. So the whole thing that happened there was just an internal range. Okay, so this is the last cell at this area. This strategy will take time to master, so rewatch this video, pause, watch again, and understand the strategy. Now this is the most recent buy because the whole thing that happened here is an internal range from this last cell candle. Okay, the whole thing that happened here was an internal range, so we had this buy 1 fake out to this level, then we had 1, and no other thing broke above that. So the whole thing that happened here is a what? Internal range down to this area here. Okay, so from this area, let's continue counting again. So everything must meet up to our parameters before we validate it as a break of structure according to our strategy we're using right now. Now look at this area here. We have 1, 2, then we had this massive fake out. Then we had 1, 2. Okay, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Means this area is a what? A valid what? Break of structure at this zone. Okay, now we have a valid what? Break of structure at this zone. So from this zone, we had 1, 2, then we had this break here. Okay, means this did not break and close above this area. The overall structure is still valid. Now from this area, let's look at what happened in this overall structure on the 1 hour. So this is our 1 hour swing low. So 1 hour swing low. And 1 hour swing high. So let's zoom into the 15 minutes to execute this trade like I said. Now since we did not break above this with a body, this is an invalid structure. Okay, so we're going to have our Fibonacci from here to here. Okay, now let's execute this trade like we never knew what happened in this trade. Now this is my first zone I usually pick, so I call here the first zone, and the second zone usually be around this area. So like I said let's execute this trade like we never knew what happened. Let's take this out and let's go into the 15 minutes time frame. For our 15 minutes time frame right now, I say we're going to execute this trade like we never knew what happened. So we're only taking trades when it touch any of these our zones. Okay, so let's execute this trade like we never knew what happened. Okay, now we already have a valid buy from here since this is the last candle. We had 1, 2, 3, which validates our buy as well. Now we continue buying. We took out this structure. So let's take this out. Now we tapped into this zone, and for that zone, this is our last buy. So we're looking for 3-step candle below that buy. Then we had 1. This is a rejection, a fake out. We did not continue from that level. Then we had 2, which is this. Then we had 3. Okay, so this area is already valid for our sell. Okay, from that level, we're looking for a valid buy retracement to take this strategy. We did not see 1, and the structure continue going down. So for this level, to be honest, I did not see any opportunity at this level. So we zoom back to the 1 hour time frame, because this is a full analysis, so it has to be as real as it should be. Okay. Now for that, we broke that structure and continue coming down to this level. Now there is no valid buy here. 1, we came down to this level. Now from this level, we had 1, 2, no valid buy. We continue coming down. Okay, then we started counting from here. 1, 2. Since this is 2 and it doesn't have a third one, means the whole thing that happened there is just an internal range. Okay, so this structure is still holding the whole market structure. Okay, but this is now the recent high. Okay, this is now the recent high, so we are still holding this bearish structure. Now, since we had a nice retracement here, 1, we rejected and we came down here, 1. This is a whole internal structure, 1. We rejected up again, but we came 1, 2, 3. Means this area becomes a valid break of structure. Like I said, this thing would take time for you to master, but just pause the video, watch it again, you would understand better. Okay, this is one of the most reliable strategy out there. Okay, now for this level we have this area as the last candle for the sell. Okay, so this is the first buy, a rejection down to this area, then we had 1, 2 rejection, then we had 3. Means this is a valid buy, a valid retracement. So we can now use or implement our Fibonacci, understand, and look for our zones. Now let's act as if we never knew what happened in this zone. Like I said, we take this level as the first one, then we take this other level as the second one. Okay, so this is a very, very good strategy that would help you in the market structure. Okay, now let's zoom into, we are doing everything in reality so you can understand. Okay, now let's wait for the 15 minutes to kick very well. Now for this 15 minutes, as it has loaded, let's look for opportunities here. So let's take this fib away and let's identify the zone on this 15 minutes. Now for this 15 minutes, we started from here. So let's start from here, 1, 2, and we went up to this area. Then we had a nice sell here, 1, 2, 3. It met up to our sell, what we need to sell rather. Okay, so we have this nice break of structure at this area here. Okay, so this is a nice live market. Now we tapped into this zone. Okay, from this zone we had a very nice sell, because this is the last buy here. We had 1, 2, 3, which validates our sell. Okay, remember this is the last one, and if we are using our smart money concept, we'll be waiting for a break below this level to have a valid change of character. Okay, that will take us into this market nicely. Okay, but we're going to analyze everything both in the smart money concept and also in this other entry modus. I said to use this first one for this 15 minutes time frame. You look at the first candle that tapped into here and started selling. Now this is the first one, but it did not sell. Now this is the first one that tapped into here and it started selling. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so once you have identified that sell for 3 candle step, you look for a 3 retracement above, but that 3 retracement candle, which is going to be 1, 2, 3 again, that we're counting again, is not going to break this level. Okay, so that thing is not going to break below this level. Okay, it is going to be within this whole market structure, and it is not going to form another structure in the internal range. Okay, now since this is the last sell, we have 1, 2, we continue selling down to this area. Means this is the last sell. Now from this last sell area, okay, we are going to use our Fibonacci to take tools from here, 1 to this area, and execute trade. Okay, so this is our first zone for that Fibonacci, and we have our second zone above it. I said let's analyze this market like we never knew what happened. Okay, so this is just a live market like we never knew what happened. Now this is the second area here. Okay, for some people that want to use that second area. Now let's take out this. Now as soon as we tap into that area, we place a sell, we target 3:1, then we put our first stop loss above this zone so that we can execute the second one. Okay, now for our 3:1, we actually hit our target and even went below it. Okay, So we actually hit our target and went below it. Okay, now for the second one, like I said, the stop loss is going to be at this first order block. Okay, so in case you tap into the second one, you just have 2 orders running. Make sure you use a very good risk management to execute this trade. For this second one, you are going to keep a little space and target 3:1. Okay, but since we hit our first take profit, there is no need for the second one. We just cancel the whole order block, because in most cases it might just take out the whole structure, okay, and devalidate it. Now what happened here, we broke this structure, but we did not close above with a candle body. It's just a candle wick. Okay, so the whole structure is just is just one. Okay, and even in this area, we just made a change of character here. So from this area, this is a nice change of character here. This strategy might take time for you to understand, but it is very easy. Since we have a nice change of character, let's look for a retracement from here. We have 1, 2, 3. So this is a valid retracement. Okay, now for this smart money concept, which already have a change of character, we take our Fibonacci and look for nice zones. For our Fibonacci, we have this nice zone here. Okay, so prices initiated on this nice zone here. You can see, because we did not break and close above here with a candle body, so the whole structure is still valid. Okay, so if you had wanted to take sell, this will be another good sell opportunity for you. Putting your stop loss above here would be a very good thing for you. Now for this stop loss, I like to put my stop loss 4 pips above the overall stop loss I'll be using. So the overall stop loss supposed to be 2.5. So if I take 4 pips above it, it will be 6.6. so let's take 6.6. let's use 6.6. let's see if we'll be taking out. So 6.6 would be around this zone. Okay, so if we had extended a bit, probably we wouldn't have been taken out, because this is just a liquidation, but the structure still, the whole analysis still went well. Okay, this is just a candle wick, but the whole analysis still went well. Okay, like I said, this is a real-time market, but if you had extended a bit, let's say to 7 or whichever way you like doing your stuff, maybe you would have retained the market. Okay, so in our own observation, the whole thing still went well, but this is just a candle wick that took us out of the market. So the strategy is still valid for the break of for the XMC and the other strategy. Okay, so this is just how you should be able, you should analyze the market and enjoy opportunities in the market. Okay, like I said, we start from the daily time frame, we zoom to 1 hour time frame, 15 minutes time frame, then we execute trade. Okay, so this is all for the analysis, but if we had extended our stop loss a bit, probably the market would have gone well, because even if we had extended it, we would have got a nice 3:1, because this did not close with body but just a wick, so it is still invalid and we still meet up to our market structure. Okay, so this is the strategy I use in executing trade. You can watch this video over time to understand this whole strategy, and it's very easy. So see you guys next year, and have a wonderful Christmas.